I think smooth is nicer. These ones here with the stripe in them, I think they're sexier looking than the ones behind it. Although I sell them both, and I see this is the one I sell the most of. This is just a blank, but it would be shaped like the back ones. Eh? This is a lot more work, and there's exotic wood in it. But people have bought them, and if they want to buy one for a gift, they usually want one like they already bought. So I think that's why they're still selling well. I like these because of the form. You read about design, and form is everything, and I think if you painted them all flat black, the front ones would look nicer. And they're domestic wood, walnut and maple. So you don't, some of this exotic wood makes you cry when they tell you how much it costs. Especially like wangi. I like to put a little wangi in and have a black line, and it's like $22, $24 a board foot now. So anyhow, wood selection. Smooth, nice smooth grain is tight grain is nice. Although I use oak and wangi too, but it's the way I finish them. I fill all those pores in. But if you were just going to oil them, those pores would be open, probably. Try laminating different woods. Like I got checkerboard pattern there. I cut a bunch of, I think, 3/4 inch squares, and I glued them up into a block. And then the trick to that is get that middle one right on center, or else these things are different size. See, this one's a little smaller than that one. So that's one thing you can do. Or like that spalted wood there, and this one, let nature do it for you. It kind of speaks for itself. Here's some wangi and that. Now I'm getting a cup. That's what the water's for. Dyeing it. That red one there is red dye I got from woodchuckers on white ash. It didn't do what I wanted it to. I put the red dye on and then I sanded it off, and I wanted the red lines in the open grains, but it didn't look right. So then I re-dyed it and did it again, and then I re-dyed it and quit because and I had a blue one like that I called the Smurf, and they were both in the gallery, and the Smurf sold right away and that one didn't. Then the finish. They're going to be handled a lot. So the shining ones, which are finished, they're post-catalyzed lacquer. And that's a lacquer you buy, and you've got a catalyst that's some kind of an acid. You put 10% catalyst in it. Stir it, shake it up good, let it sit for 15 minutes, and then it's ready to go. The Americans call it conversion varnish. And that stuff sets up. It'll set up in a refrigerator, in a jar, or no matter what. It's going to set like epoxy almost. It'll take about a week, but it will set. However, once it's set, it's really durable. Like when for instance, I prime them with tung oil, and then I put 3 coats of the lacquer on, and then I wet sand them, and then I got all that white swarf on them. I wash that off with acetone before I spray the next coats on. The acetone doesn't hurt it. Now those bolts there, they've got that water-based thing, and I put a little acetone on them, and I found that's not a good thing. Oh, you want me to go stand by that? Okay. So this is a water-based thing. And I've only been using it, like I said, for a month. And I don't know how it would stand up on a peppermill. Like, you feel it. It's getting harder. Maybe it just takes a while. Maybe it'll get really hard. They say it's hard. But if anything will get soft, this will get soft before that does. This one is our kitchen mill. and it's a 2008, so it's 6 years old. And you know, by the stove, it gets grease and everything, and I cleaned it off to bring it down here. It's been dropped, shipped off here. There, see how red it was once? Anyhow, it's a real good finish. But most of us don't have a spray booth. I would try that. Or you could try oil-based paraffin in the black can, they still make it. I think you can polish anything if you're patient. We got one guy in our club who's doing it with wipe-on poly. We talked about it in the winter time, and I said, you know, it's not hard, it's just a lot of work, right? His name's Bob Mitro, and he's brought some stuff in that's just like mine. So I'm really happy with that he's doing that. Don't use a shellac-based finish, such as friction polish. It goes on real easy and it looks nice, and then it'll get sticky on you right away. Gummy. Same thing with your oils. Salad oil, it'll get rancid. That's tongue oil there. I think it would get soft. But I always put tongue oil on for a primer because it pops the grain. Even those water-based ones got tongue oil on them underneath. Your mechanisms, if you're going to make one for a barbecue, you can get the big tall ones. I think you can get them up to 18 inches.
We normally recommend 10.
I go 10. I like 10. But I got these, okay. I got these short ones. The first set I made because we were going camping. We had a motorhome, so they don't flip over. And they're nice. A lot of people really like them. But they only hold so much pepper. And if you're a pepper freak, the bigger ones, well, we fill that one there up every couple of weeks, probably, if I'm cooking. All right. So, when I designed the new ones, I just take a block of wood, 3 by 3, and I cut this angle. Okay, here. Okay, I cut this angle in it. I think it's 15 degrees. I made this thing. I put the block of wood in it like that. No, like that. Oh, and I just broke it. And then I broke it before. And then I put it in the table saw with a fine finishing blade and cut it.
So it's like a tapering jig.
The tapering jig, yeah, and it's 15 degrees. And you could make it more or less, but it kind of looks nice at 15 in 10 inches. Okay? And then this is 1/4 inch, I just cut some wood up and I planed it in the thickness planer. Glue that together again. Now, when you go to glue them, I use Titebond 3 now because I make cutting boards too, also. And so it's just easier just to keep the one kind of glue around because it only lasts so long. When you go to glue them, they slip because it's like a lubricant. You squeeze them and they go all over the place. So I take and drill a 1/8 hole. I'm okay. I drill a 1/8 hole in the top, and these are 2-inch common nails. In Port Hope, you can get them at Rona, buy them by bulk. A whole bunch of them cost like $1.50. So I drill these holes in up near the end, by the corners, so that hopefully when I'm turning them, they'll disappear, the holes. So after they're glued, I just take the claw hammer and pull them out, and they're not even bent. I can use them next time. Here's the holes. Yeah, you can see them? And you can see here it came out the end because I trimmed it all up in the bandsaw. So I put this on the bandsaw and I clean this off and clean this off and then square the ends. Something else on here, it says 14%. That wood was stored air dried in the barn probably for 5 years. And in July I went and I got it and I stuck the moisture meter in it and lo and behold, it was 14%. So when you're buying kiln-dried wood, if it's kiln-dried and then sitting in a barn afterwards for 5 years, it's probably 14%. Depends where. This summer it was really hot and dry, but that was in July, so just an aside about kiln-dried lumber. So here are some blanks that are ready to finish off. We're going to make that into a finished off blank. And, oh, I'll leave this here. This is the price list from Craft Supplies for the salt and pepper mills. Right now, today, I wrote it down somewhere. Today, a 10-inch pepper mill is $12.30 US, would be $16.24 Canadian. But they have quantity ones, so if you guys are going to make some pepper mills, and you believe me that those are good mills, well, you can maybe get 10 of them and get a price break a little bit. I think you get $1 or something.
We're going to order from Baycom.
Right?
We're going to get a bulk order of Baycom.
Well, you might. He'll sell you 500 of them.
It was just on his website, it's 500. I just want to get a price for
Yeah? Okay.
You'll take
All right.
Buy some?
Hey,
You can buy some from us.
if you get some, call me up. He wants to get paid in US dollars.
Cash.
Yeah. I'll tell you about it. Mark didn't want to sell them anymore, and he had a bunch in stock. The last ones John brought in. And he phoned me up, and he said, "You want these pepper mills?" And I looked up on Daycom, and I asked him what he wanted, and I bought every one he had. So, yeah, but that may be where they come from next. But you got to buy the rods separate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can buy more rods. I think John did that. He bought a bunch of 10s.
Why do you have to buy them separate?
Different lengths.
Oh,
They're different lengths. What have I got here?
just ready for it. Yeah.
Might as well get into that. They come like this, in a little bag, and then everything else is in a little bag. So you can tell they come from China because they're filled by hand.
Small hands.
Yeah, whatever. And then the rods are separate. There's short ones and long ones. So you just buy the grinder, and then you buy the rods of various lengths. Like that.
Can you buy the rods here? Like, just have to get them size or
They're threaded.
They're threaded on the end, and they're Chinese metric. And then they got the little knobs. I think you got to go with their stuff because they fit. A chef knob won't fit on it. The threads are different.
Really?
Really? Yeah. Who knows? Okay. So, what I did. Oh, not quite ready yet. So, your chef mill or your Daycom mill have dimensions. So this is for a 10-inch one. Your overall piece of wood should be 10 3/16. And that, you drill in 9/16 into the end, and that's where the grinder part goes. And then you have 1 3/4 on the top left. You have 1 3/4 on the top left for a knob. Okay? Now you can't